Hi, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Reconnect. I'm Diana Palm, and I am the medium helping you to heal the grief from heartbreak and loss. Today, we're going to talk about a very interesting topic because I have people want to argue with me or really fight for their position on this all the time, and I understand where it comes from. And so I thought I would put out a video to help you explain why your soul chooses your family and talk about all the intricacies around that so that you know you did not select people that would be abusive to you or not love you or any of those things, that was never part of why you selected your family. So welcome to this episode. I love talking about all the things that can help you to really understand the spiritual energies that connect you to your loved ones so that you understand more about their significance to you, the role they play in your life and in the afterlife, and the continued relationship that you actually have with them from life to life. So when we have unhealed things, especially from our early childhood, especially if you've been abused, is so important that you do the healing necessary. And oftentimes when I tell people that their soul selected their family, they get very emotionally triggered and they'll tell me, no, I would never have selected those parents. I would have never selected those siblings. I would have never selected these circumstances. So I want to back it up a moment and remind you that as a soul, as a spirit, before you incarnated and before you came into this body, you came from a place of wholeness where everything was so peaceful and you were so powerful and everything was just bliss. Everybody just was in a unified energy of love. It was perfect. But you came as a soul to earth in order to teach certain things, in order to learn certain things. And also, some of you came here to wake up other people, to be a catalyst for growth for humanity. So some of your souls actually chose to come here and have certain experiences, not to keep you stuck in an energy of victimhood, but to grow and heal and learn forgiveness and all these qualities and attributes and virtues that a soul wants to learn. Also, in that, maybe changing laws or maybe helping other people that are stuck in that. Once you've mastered your own ability to leave a harmful situation and you've done your healing, you're a perfect role model to help others be able to do the same, to empower others to love themselves and to find that confidence and strength to leave. So in the leaving, I like to clearly describe, yes, you should leave situations where you may be harmed or where you are being harmed. But in the healing of that, it's important that you don't keep the person that was harming you in a space in your life where they have more power over you still, because that would still allow them to be abusing you or harming you, even if you've removed them from your life. Now, this includes after they've passed, because in the spirit world, many people tell me, oh, I don't want to connect to that. What if I set up a mediumship reading and I want a healing from you, but certain ancestors come through that I just don't want to hear from? If this is you, then I want you to recognize the true gift that really is. If you feel that you do not want to connect with somebody in the spirit world, this is showing you that you have an emotional trigger that is unhealed. It doesn't mean that you want to re-experience any trauma or abuse that you may have experienced, but it shows you that you have a trigger of an emotional response that's holding on to trauma. You may have also built a lot of resentment around that energy, the situation, or the person. And if you're holding that to keep you safe, which is why we create resentment in the first place, if we're holding on to that energy, you have to understand that that energy is very, very hard on your physical body. Resentment may keep you safe from one abuser, but you're actually abusing yourself by holding on to that resentment. Resentment usually gets lodged in the kidneys, in the liver. It can cause colon problems. It's a very dense energy that causes many different diseases. So it's my message. I want to be clear. It doesn't mean that everything's just hunky dory and that you should accept abuse. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is you really want to reach for the highest level of healing that you can receive. And when we connect with our loved ones in the afterlife who have done hurtful things to us or perhaps even abused us, it's important to know that they are not the same personality that did these things. They too, like you on the other side, were perfect. They were spiritual perfection, just like you were. And they came down here and played a certain role. And once they're out of their drama and they've done the things that they needed to do in life, whether they learned their lessons and healed or not, in the other side, as soon as they get into the afterlife, those unhealed issues that they were holding are healed, and they are actually more to the true version of them as a soul as when you first met them and agreed to come here and play out these life situations. Now, there's another thing that happens is that often we see, especially with abuse, is that if somebody grows up with victimhood from being abused and they haven't properly processed and healed that, they are literally still in the vibration of it. They're carrying it forward in their genetic DNA, and it's highly likely that they will repeat the pattern with their own loved ones. And this is what we find with generational abuse, is that it stems back. Maybe it was introduced 5 generations ago, and ever since then, it's been something that's just rampant in your family from generation to generation to generation. So sometimes there are some of you here who actually came here to heal the genetic family line, because once you clear up yourself and heal your heart and forgive and release and clear up the resentment out of your body, there are no triggers around the situation for you. That is how you actually heal more than just yourself. That's how you heal your genetic family line. That's how you end the cycle of abuse. It's also important to know that the person most likely that abused you had been abused themselves. So they too were a victim at one point and carried the pattern forward. So brilliant you, amazing you, and magnificent you. If you're one of these people that has been working on your own healing to clear and resolve the triggered emotions, the energies of victimhood, the resentment, then that means you're that person. You're the person who's up-leveling and healing your entire genetic family line. This is so powerful. And in my program, Reconnect, when I'm working with people on the healing of these things, it does help to have communication with their loved one in the afterlife, because they can tell them, you really screwed up my life. You made my life so hard. Why didn't you love me? And they can actually hear the answer back from the higher version, the spiritual version of the person that they knew that harmed them. This is really healing, because most of us get stuck in the moment of time that our trauma happened or when an abuse happened. And we think this person, especially if we were young children, we tend to think of the abuser as this big monster that's almighty and powerful and has all the ability to love us or not love us. And it's such an exaggerated power that we give them. Well, when we grow up and we heal and we release and we shift things in our life and we make sure that we're actually behaving differently, that we're very loving and soft in all the areas that we used to carry with us, that were created out of pain, like a lot of sharp edges, a lot of ruthlessness, a lot of just cold behavior or cut off people, that kind of energy. That's how people process earlier trauma. That's a survival mechanism. But when you can do your healing and feel comfortable around other people without getting triggered, that shows you that you truly have released the energies and they're not harming your physical body anymore. They're not harming your spirit or your family line. So in that, it's so important that we do our healing. And again, when you do connect, I have people come through all the time from the spirit world, and people say like, I don't want to hear from them. And I say, well, I have to give it to you because spirit's coming through, your father's here, your mother's here, whatever it is. And, usually what they say is just very simple. And they say, I'm sorry, or I love you. I was always proud of you. And that's true. Their spirit, their soul version of themselves is very proud of you for what you lived through. Even though it was them, they depersonalize it now because they're in spirit. They see what you had to go through. They do take responsibility, but they see how strong you were, that you healed. They see how amazing you are, that you didn't let it influence the rest of your life by holding on to resentment. They see what a beautiful person you turned into. They're so proud of you for that. That is what our souls are here to experience, is this growth. We do not come to earth to have one experience of bliss. That's actually what we come from and where we go back to. So on the earth plane, there's all kinds of lessons. There's all kinds of experiences for soul growth and soul expansion. And we do this to help one another. We do this to raise consciousness of mankind. We do this to help others get to a higher level of their own healing. So many times, if you've experienced these things in your youth, it's because you had this huge, passionate role to play to help others, to show people, yes, I can come from this beautiful place of peace and love and joy and wholeness and be born into this situation, this family, where I will experience these things. And I will still be a good person. I will still rise. I will still uplift others because I will do my healing. I will show people that they don't have to generationally pass on these abuses and these behaviors and the genetic imprinting of abuse and the victimhood cycle. So even, if you have been somebody, if you're watching this and you've been somebody that has experienced abuse or maybe even abused somebody else earlier in your life, it's just as important for you to be able to either make amends with the person that you harmed or to heal yourself and understand that you too can end the cycle. You too can be a benefit when you heal the energy. Because what we're really talking about is energy. We're talking about like the abuse and victimhood cycle. And as long as we're stuck in that duality, we are still running programs that will attract similar experiences to us. And even if we find a place of peace after we've gone through these things, if we haven't thoroughly cleared it out of our body and our energy field, and we've like shoved it down into a dark corner where we never want to look at it again, those are the areas that we create disease. Now, I said with resentment, it's liver, it's kidneys, it's colon, it's shoved way down, typically with around the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra, because all of those are areas of our body where we hold emotional trauma and pain and powerlessness. So if you're having health problems with those areas and you may need to clear some of those energies, some of the old memories, just get them out of your body. You may need to shift the energy and vibration from resentment to release, or even higher is understanding maybe what you learned. What was the takeaway from the experiences that you went through? When we experience really traumatic events, especially in our childhood, I have seen many of those people grow up to be tremendous benefits to society, tremendous healers, because having gone through something like that, put the desire in their heart to heal and help so many other people. So many times, this early life situation is actually the motivation for your soul to get on path. And that's how we derive many of our life paths and our purposes for being here. So sometimes, if you want to take some time and look at your life and the things you've experienced, it's easy to assess if you have, carry these patterns forward, if you're still stuck in victimhood consciousness, or if you feel free and clear, if you spiritually and energetically feel healthy and willing to connect with your loved one in the afterlife who may have done these things. That shows you that you have completely shifted that energy, that it's no longer a part of your story. Therefore, it's no longer a part of your physical health. And that's really the takeaway. Sometimes people think it's just, about forgiveness. And they're like, I don't want to forgive that person, but it's the resistance to forgiveness that keeps us at a lower level. It doesn't allow us to fully evolve into these really amazing, masterful beings that we were intended to. So anywhere that you can look at your life and think, I could maybe do some healing around this issue, or clear some vibrations out around this issue, or elevate my victimhood status into more empowerment. Those are really powerful self-love choices for you. And they're also healing for your loved one on the other side. Sometimes our loved ones who pass end up being spirit guides to us. So sometimes when there's been a very imbalanced energy, when the abuse was very harsh or maybe lifelong, and these things were not able to be resolved, when they pass, many times they assign themselves as a spirit guide to you because they physically have to see the harm they created in the choices you're making. It's almost as if it's a penance of some sort, so they can thoroughly understand, oh my God, this is the impact of what I did. And many of them are saying to themselves, I didn't know. I didn't know I was doing that, because essentially they were unconscious. They were not awakened to their spiritual healing. They were not awakened to their spiritual gifts. They were simply playing out patterns that had been done to them. So this is not about torture or punishment. This is about them learning and being a part of the very vital essence of shifting this paradigm, especially for your family line. That's why they hang around to see, because they understand and they become more awakened to the fact that they were victimized too, and they just carried it forward, and they see what they've done, and they're like, oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not what I intended. But they're able to say that to you when you connect with them in the afterlife. But more importantly, they're able to guide you after they see the ramifications of the energy that was created from these events. They're able to be very powerful providers of energy, opportunity, and healing, because they want to help you now in a way that they were not able to when they were unconscious, when they were just like replaying patterns and abuse patterns and cycles, and they weren't awakened to the fact that they could heal it. Now they can. So when they come around you in the spirit world, it's never out of the old energy. It's coming from an energy of, I'm awakened now, I'm spirit now, I'm out of the old paradigm, and now I can be the kind of father to you that you needed. Now I can be a more loving mother. Now I can nurture you and protect you and guide you. And that's really what it's about. And allowing them to do this and have this presence in your life, that continues to heal you. It continues to heal them. It continues to heal the genetic family line, because there's no more vibrations around resentment or old storylines or early childhood abuse or any of the anger and resentment and pain that it creates. So when they step in like that, at first, I know it's not what people seek. And many people are like, hold on now, stay back. I don't want you around my life. And so I'm hoping that now that you watch this video, you'll understand the dynamics that are at play, and that they come to you in a very high vibration, a very healed vibration. And they want to see to it that you do your healing, that you receive the healing that you need. And they will walk with you through life and open doors of opportunities to you, and be that parent or be that friend or be that husband, that energy that is a more perfect love. So that's why the connection is important, and that's why it's so healing. Your relationships with them do not end when they die, and it's never too late to say you're sorry. And that goes for you saying you're sorry to them and them saying they're sorry to you. It goes both ways. It's never too late because they do stay with you. I'm going to check out some of these comments here. Hello there, Brad. Let's see. Sony, hello there. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Dark Crystal Tarot. Hi there. How are you doing? So you guys are you understanding what I'm talking about? Have you had these experiences before? So many people, like I said, they're afraid. They experience their loved one in the afterlife. Sometimes they'll see them, an apparition of them, or they'll have a dream about them, and it brings them right back to their childhood when they first experienced abuse, and they think, oh my God, they're here to haunt me. No, they're here to heal you. So remember, they're elevated now, and now any kind of interaction you have with them is going to be a healing interaction. So if you're carrying triggers, please reach out to me. Try to set up a private session with me. Either get into my grief healing program or do a one-on-one private session with me, where we can work you through these energies and clear them out of your body. I can actually see where you're holding the resentment, where it's causing physical pain or dis-ease in your body. And we can clear those energies and help you come into a softer, more healed space, so that you're not continuing to abuse yourself by carrying these energy patterns forward. Oh, thank you so much. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna put this up here, Dark Crystal. Okay, so she's doing, there is a very special healing that we do, baby in the womb. I love it because doing this exercise, so I'm not sure if you're a theta healer or if you just know this from books or anything like that, but the sending love to baby in the womb exercise is exactly what we're talking about. It's about clearing the genetic pain and trauma that we carry vibrationally. And when we're pregnant, we can actually just infuse it with perfect love, like not just a mother's love because we're carrying them, but part of our love is filtered by the experiences we've had. So we can fill them with love from source or creator, and just see that energy come down through us and go right into our womb and right into our baby and come all the way around, clearing genetic family lines, healing any unfinished business in the genetic family, and just bringing this beautiful, supportive, unconditional love from the highest source to surround your baby, to actually go right into the cells of your baby as your baby's being created, and those cells are multiplying and their little bodies are forming and growing. So that's a very, very good thing to do. And to really, especially if you've experienced anything that was harmful, or if you're not sure if you processed and got it all out of your body, this would be a very beautiful and powerful healing for a mother to do while she's pregnant, to make sure that she's not passing those unfinished issues onto her child, that she's actually resetting the stage and giving her baby just the most powerful, wonderful version of love to begin with and to be surrounded by. Now, I work with a lot of people where they tell me, I'll say, like, when was the last time you were happy? And they're like, I was never happy. I'm like, when was the last time you felt safe? They'll say, I never felt safe. I'm like, how long have you been depressed? And they'll say, it feels like forever. And you know what that comes from? Because when the mother has a lot of unhealed issues and she becomes pregnant, she's creating the womb. She's creating her baby in her womb, and all the energy that she carries, all of her vibrations and things she thinks about and feels about, she's putting that into the baby. And sometimes babies come in and they have absorbed their mother's depression. They have absorbed their mother's inability to feel loved. And so they don't know that they're doing that, so they don't even know they don't have this fresh start. And mothers certainly don't know that they're passing that on. So it's very, very, very important for pregnant mothers to have healing done, to just clear out any unfinished business from their own vessel or from their own energy field, and just totally infuse it with Creator's unconditional love, perfect love, and just really give that baby this really, really beautiful, powerful, light-filled start in life. It's very incredibly powerful. And again, breaking genetic family lines, breaking the kind of energy that is passed from one generation to the next, especially from the mother to the baby. So I'm so glad you're doing that. That's wonderful. Just keep sending that baby all the love, and yeah, that's really wonderful. You're doing that. Okay. Um, Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, you guys, I hope this video made sense. I know a couple weeks ago I did a video and I had some people ruffled some feathers for sure, triggered some people that were like, telling me, no way did I pick my family. And the fact is we do. As a soul, we do. We all are up here deciding to come down and have an experience in the physical. And some people are villains and some people are victims. And we have to learn how to balance that energy and heal it. And then we go back, right? And then we choose to do it again. So maybe not in the same format. Hopefully, if both versions, both sides of the equation do their healing and balance this energy, then in the next time we come down, either in the next generation or in the next lifetime, we actually come in more peaceful. And that's how humanity evolves. Every time we level up, every time we have less burdens to bring forward with us. And right now, as the new earth is being talked about so big, the new earth is a vibrational elevation from where we've been out of many of the old paradigms. And that's why we see a lot of things really being exasperated, and things that seem like they're setting us back, things that are, going on that are very difficult in the world, creating a lot of trauma and the wars and all of that stuff. When this happens, it's like a purging of that energy, and people clearly have two choices: to stay in that energy and vibration and continue that cycle on, or elevate into the vibration of the new earth, which is more about peace, love, clearing old storylines, clearing patterns of destruction, clearing abuse and victimhood, clearing oppression, all of the vibrations that are actually what war is all about. Well, we have wars inside of our family. It's the same thing. So any which way you want to do this healing, to really embrace a higher vibration for yourself, embrace the energy of the new earth, be one of the people that is bringing the light, bring one of the people that's vibrating higher, be one of the people that takes the time to clear your energy and vibration and your physical body. Because more and more people that are doing that, that's how we eliminate the larger issues, which are the wars. That's how we actually vibrationally elevate higher, where we don't need to stay in the same struggle. So you guys, I just wanted to clear that up for you. If you have questions, please leave them below my video. If you've been triggered by this topic, if you feel like you need healing, please reach out to me. I do deep DNA healing. It's not like psychotherapy. I don't make you talk about it over and over. We just get the lesson and we clear the energy and vibrations out of your body, out of your mind, out of your heart, out of your spiritual energy, so that you can evolve and be free of the past energies that you experienced that were sometimes very, very difficult. So I want to just thank you guys so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you next time. By the way, if you want to go to my website, it's www.dianapalm.com. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.